Hi, guys. Yes, I'm finally back. We were just talking. We didn't realize that we were not broadcasting. So sorry about that. Hopefully, Queen will join us again. So I'm just going to start over and give me a minute. I'll give people a chance to join in, and hopefully Queen will be right back with us. So don't go anywhere. I hope you clicked off and clicked back on. And it's a good thing that I have. So look at your notifications. Okay. Okay, that was her calling, so she should join us in a minute. So I will go ahead and let's see. I see one person is on. I'm going to type yes. We're back. We're back. New connection. Okay, I see two people. Okay, so you're finding your way back. Good. This was getting a little crazy. Let's see if I got Queen back. Just bear with us. Yes, I reset my page. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. And let me add her. Wait, wait, wait. Let me put her in the studio. Okay. Whoops, whoops, whoops. I'll start again. Yes. Yes. Okay, we're back on. Okay.
Hey.
Yes, and now we have 3 viewers. Okay. So we're gonna just start over. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, let me take a sip then.
Yeah. So we should be good at this because this is our second attempt. Okay, hold on. Let me get my camera straight. All righty. All right.
So you're doing the intro
Hello,
and everything, right?
Facebook group and YouTube group. My name is Deborah Valerie, and I am the founder of the wonderful Facebook group of 60 plus Black women expats group. So, hi, my sisters. It's good to be with you again. And also, I'm broadcasting to YouTube on Passport Ability because the whole purpose is to let seniors know, and I say seniors is the YouTube channel is of course open to anybody that wants to view, but the focus of the discussion here will be geared toward older seniors around baby boomers that maybe for the first time realize that they can live anywhere in the world. They have passport power or passport ability. And so I focus on that age group because we have different priorities than the younger group. We're worried about number one, healthcare, safety, and cost of living, or the and community. We seek community. And so passportability is where you'll find that information geared toward those either already retired or approaching retirement. And I have a very special guest today who knows about all 4 of those categories. And her name is Queen D. Michele. I just love that name, Queen. And she literally wrote the book about becoming an expat. And she's an author of 4 books. And
That's
I'll
true.
let her tell you about them. And then I'm going to place in the link in the YouTube channel, I'm going to place a link for the Facebook group as well as how to get her book. Now, the Facebook group is a little bit different from YouTube. It's Black women only. Okay. And you don't have to be 60 to join, but you do have to be a Black or female, be identified as a Black female, because our concerns about moving abroad are come from a totally different frame of reference than the majority race. So hope you all join both the YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. I need all three of those because it helps me get better camera or whatever somewhere down the line. I think it'll become profitable. It's not now, but I'm enjoying myself. Okay.
I know, right?
And I'm
Me too.
learning a lot. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the guest, and that is Queen D. Michele. Please take it away.
And again, Deborah, again, I want to thank you for creating this platform, to adhering to the download you must have received and not resisting it, trusting it, and going with it and opening up this platform for us to be able to collaborate, to network, to lift each other up, because there's something going on out there. There is a movement, that an exodus almost. There's this shift in consciousness. The paradigms are shifting, and women are saying, "Hey, you know what? I, I can do something different. This doesn't have to be the end all be all to what my life is going to be." I discovered that when, after 27 years of teaching elementary, I was going to do 30. I really was. By then, being born and raised in Detroit, I taught there, Michigan, 11 years in Las Vegas, taught Nevada, and then 4 years in Atlanta before I moved to Mexico. But it was that time when I had the decision to make. Let me try to do 3 more years, and I'm going to do 30 and out. I'll be 55 years old. I'm going to retire in 3 years.
I want you to speak up a little bit.
Okay, and maybe cut mine up. Okay, maybe
guys,
move
can you hear? Give us a thumbs up. Let us know if you can hear her fine.
Yeah, Deborah, can you hear me?
I hear you. Can the viewers? Can you guys hear her? Just give a wave or a yes. There's 6 people.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see. Waiting on Deborah said, yeah, oh, she had to reset her page. So Deborah says she's glad to be here, but are you hearing me? Okay, Deborah. That's the name I see out
Deborah
there.
Green. I see Deborah Green.
Oh, there's that thumbs up. Okay, yay. Deborah's on YouTube. She's viewing from YouTube. So cool. All right. And,
okay. She gave a thumbs up so they can hear us. Okay, great. Hi, guys.
Okay, so here I am at 52 years old, and 3 more
what
years.
Year was that?
2015.
Okay.
2015. And I couldn't do those last 3 years, Deborah. Doing those, trying to get to 30 years. I couldn't. It seemed like an eternity. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. And so at 52, I went ahead. I took that pinch, and it was a pinch, but I retired at 52, and soon discovered, very soon, that that small pension I was going to receive for the rest of my life, mind you, but still it was small, needed to be supplemented. No problem. I'll be semi-retired, right? What's wrong with that? So I'll make my own schedule. And I did remote work for a software company, designing curriculum. I became an Uber driver, Lyft driver. I did merchandising and secret shopping. I drove a shuttle for a transportation company that serviced the railroad. So I was taking engineers and conductors to and from their trains on the road. I just kind of having a ball that first year out of retirement, finding purpose and supplementing my pension. And after that first year, I was like, hey, wait a minute. I'm going to always have to do this. This is just not me just, hey, having some fun. I am going to always have to work to supplement my pension because it will never be enough. That means I'm going to have to work until I can't work any longer. And then I'll live substandardly, see, because I'm not working. I'll be 70 years old saying, hey, welcome to Walmart. Welcome to Walmart, wiping down buggies and things. Because I have to supplement.
Who wants that?
Oh, you see them everywhere, Deborah. You know it's true. They're in
We know it's
restaurants
true. Oh,
and
yeah.
retail and airports. Man, they ain't working because they want to. They're working
No.
because they have to.
No.
They have to. And here's the kicker. This is what did it for me. This is why I pulled the trigger. And after reading this article, the top 10 places to retire. The thing is, I could have continued to work and supplement that pension, the 27-year pension, but I would only be working to pay bills. See, it would be no extras. There's no fine dining. There's no weekend getaways. There's no concerts. There's no, I work and I pay bills, therefore survive. And that's what did it for me. I was like, nope. I don't owe you my life. I'm not giving you my life. I got this little pension for the rest of my life. And what up came an article from International Living, the top 10 places to retire. And I started researching. them. And then some of them were, well, let me see. Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Thailand, Mexico, of course, Colombia, I believe, was one. Might even changed a little bit. That was like 4 years ago, actually. But those are the top 10 places to retire where I could actually live on my pension and not work. But it was.
Did you care to share how much your pension was?
Oh, a whopping, mind you, $1,100 a month. Yeah, but to be honest with you, Deborah, that was my rent in Atlanta. $1,100
in 2017.
That was my rent. So my pension was my rent. So I needed to work to take care of everything else, to manage just all of the what it entails. It's your car note, it's your car insurance, it's the cable, it's the sale, it's utilities, it's groceries, and I hadn't even got around to healthcare, just having a plan that I could afford monthly, having retired. Mexico, where I'm at now, this Lake Chapala area, it checked all the boxes for me after researching. I even researched Africa. I was thinking, hey, I'm going back to the motherland. That's where I'll go. And I did. I started doing some research in Ghana and the development. And for each one, there was a reason why but it was Mexico, this area that I'm in now, that checked all my boxes. Somebody say, what? Preach, Queen. I saw the same.
Good. You can see the comments. Great.
But yeah. Okay. Well, let me continue. So Mexico, where I'm at now, Mexico has 32 states. I live in the state of Jalisco. Pronounce it with an H, but it's a J, Jalisco. And Jalisco houses the largest lake in the country of Mexico. And that lake is called Lake Chapala. And surrounding that lake, the north and the south shore of that lake, are little towns and villages. And on the north shore of that lake, from one end to the other, it's an expat community within those towns and villages. That is the largest expat community in the country of Mexico. 10,000 strong and probably more, just peppered and situated throughout the north shore of the lake. And I would say maybe 30% of them, 40% of them are snowbirds, meaning they spend half the year here and then half the year. They're Americans and Canadians who spend half the year here. And how wonderful is that? They summer in Canada and then spring it here in Mexico. So just started researching. And so one of the things that checked my boxes was the closeness. I am 3.5 hours away from my home base. Not my hometown. Hometown is Detroit. What up, though? But home base is Atlanta. And so I'm a 3.5 hour plane ride from my home base. So location was one. It's very close, you know. And second was climate. Having grew up, born and raised in Detroit, winters, absolutely not. Moved to Las Vegas, but they summers, absolutely not, right? Then Atlanta, you know, it's beautiful, but man, it rains and it's humid, and besides, I couldn't live there without working, without having to continue to work. The climate here, having researched, it's what they call eternally spring. It's in the 70s, low 80s, and what I mean by spring is there's a dry spring and a wet spring. The dry spring, it can get warm in May. That's usually when I'm back in the States visiting with family. It's in May. It can get a little warm, and it's not like it's air conditioned. The windows are open and fans go, ceiling fans and fans, and then nice breezes in the evening, cool breezes. So climate is absolutely beautiful here, eternally spring. And then it was the expat community that checked that third box. Costa Rica didn't have it. Belize didn't have it. Panama, they have expats, but not as large. Matter of fact, there's a place here called Lake Chapala Society. And within that establishment and that campus, they kind of lay out the red carpet for you when you move here. It's a safety net, and they wait, you get connected with them, get your little membership card. And from there's classes and trips and information, and just a way to ingratiate yourself very easily into the community until you feel like you got some wings and off you go, until you find your tribe for the most part. So that was very valuable to me because I was by myself. It was just me, moving here. So I kind of needed that safety net. And after all the communities that I researched, this one was and then it's kind of like a retirement community, but it wasn't retirement like we think retirement. Man, these Americans and Canadians here, 10 and 15 years my senior right now. I'm always going to 80-year-old birthdays and 75-year-old birthdays, 70-year-old birthdays. I am and anniversaries and this. I mean, but they're off the chain here. And I think it has something to do with the lake. It has something to do with the mountains. It has something to do with the energy pool that's here. There's a vortex. There's so much to there's an energetic pull, because I do consultation for those who are considering moving abroad, 45-minute session. And a lot of the women that I talk to, and they're mostly our age, Deborah, Black women who are in various stages of getting ready to pull that trigger. And the one thing that's a common thread, among them is community. That's right. Where's is the Black community there for me, women, but it is growing. It's not just here, Lake Chapala.
No, it's all over the world.
And that's what I'm saying. This movement.
And what I like about it,
find your tribe.
That's it.
Wherever you go,
you find your tribe.
They're there.
Or create your tribe.
There we go. Exactly. Just grab a hand and pull these sisters because what we're doing, this trailblazing that you and I are doing, it may not be our niece, but our niece's child or that child. They're seeing this and knowing this opportunity, because it's not for everybody. But what we're doing is to show everybody that it can be done, And I'm extremely happy to be a part of, swept up in this movement like you are. Yeah. Things happening so fast, Deborah. Isn't it happening fast for you? Next thing you know, you got this, and the group is growing.
The group just made the Facebook group just made 4 months, and there's over 400. We're approaching 500 members, and they are from Rwanda. Yeah, to Ecuador. The bulk is in Panama. in
Mhm.
Mexico. And what I like to interject is for those maybe the first time considering this, I think both Panama and Mexico are good first attempts at
I
becoming
do
an
too.
expat. It's
You know,
like
great
training wheels,
landing,
okay?
great landing
Because of the
spots. Yes,
proximity to getting back home. I mean, I can
yes.
get to Mexico quicker than I can get to New York from Dallas,
See,
okay?
see,
So
yeah,
it's proximity of coming home, and it's a community that's already there waiting for you in certain areas. There are people who look like
yes,
you. In
yes.
Panama, there were two church members from Dallas who had no idea they were both looking. One had already moved, and the other one was
Right.
looking to move. And they met up, and they happened to be wearing the same. The church has an outside organization, Urban Alternative or Project Turnaround,
Uh-huh.
and she was wearing the t-shirt. And she's like, "How do you have my church's t-shirt on?" And she's like, "This is my church." And had they not joined this particular group, uh, they wouldn't have known there's a commute. They were already people around them that they didn't know about. And
Yeah.
so that's why this group was created. I was challenged by Stephanie Perry because
Ah.
God had put it in my spirit. I was in several of the younger people's expat group that are
Mm-hmm.
still working and gainfully employed, the
Right,
digital
right, right.
nomads and whatever. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's their focus, how to earn an income outside. And I kept asking questions about healthcare and Social Security and stuff like that. And so they were very sweet. They weren't snippy at all. And I
Yeah,
want to point
yeah.
that out. But she said, "Well, Deborah, why don't you start a group?" Because when I would ask, I'm pretty bold. Once I ask the question, two or three more feel comfortable saying, "Yeah, we want to know about that." And so I knew there were more of us in those groups. And so it was on a live chat on a Saturday morning. And so she
Uh-huh.
challenged me, "Start your own group." And I thought she was kidding. And then maybe 5 minutes later, she goes, "Do you have the name of the group? Because I want to post it in the comments." And that's another thing I
Wow.
like about this. In the US, we have almost lost community. We grew up as baby boomers. We grew up knowing our next door neighbors, and they looked out for us. They told our mom if we didn't come straight home where we were, whatever.
Mhm.
Now, people lock your doors are always locked, and you connect on Facebook. But a lot of
Right.
times you don't even know your neighbor, and you certainly don't trust the neighborhood. And we
Mm.
miss that. We're looking for community again. And we don't
Yes,
think it's a
yes.
worldwide community. And so
Mhm.
I think people were drawn to the Facebook group because they could find out other people were going through the same things, and they were willing to share. I mean, for
Yeah.
how selfish people can be on a
Hoard,
YouTube
hoard
channel or
information.
a Facebook
Yeah.
group. It's like, wait a minute, you got a couple thousands of people in your Facebook group and your YouTube channel, and you're going to tell me to put a link? Because most of them say, don't mention you have a
That's
group,
true.
and
Very
certainly
true.
don't put a link. And
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
rules in the Facebook group because I don't want anybody coming in spamming people. That's not what it's about.
That's your main
But
concern. Yeah.
that's right. But I definitely want to make use of members in the group like yourself. And I made
Mhm.
that very clear. Run it
Yeah.
by me, because if you have something to offer the group, yeah,
Yes.
I want them to know you have a book. I want them to know
Yes.
you have a tour coming up, because that's
Right.
what it's all about. I'd much rather put my money with somebody that looks like me and is willing to
Absolutely.
give me all this free information. You have a book, yes, I want to support your book. I want to buy
Yes,
the
of
book,
course.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'll I can preach. Back to
Hey, I
Michelle.
see. I see where Deborah says, or even Ahihique area. But tell you about Ahihique. Ahihique is just up the street from me because these towns and villages, they are right next to each other. I mean, so you drive and it's like a two-way highway from on this North Shore, going east and going west. Okay, so Ahihique is west. That's like 90% expat. I mean, they're speaking English all over the place in Ahihi. You won't have a problem ordering at any restaurant or anything. Is English spoke, and they cater to those expats. Wonderful eating. You will hear just we got over 200 restaurants and all. I mean, throughout this north, because they compete, because hey, they know what expats want, and they are servicing them, to the utmost. So Ahihi it's the hub, so it's very busy, and it's compacted. It's if you're central Ahihi. Now, if you move a little bit further east, there's San Antonio. That's the town that I stay in. Now, San Antonio is 50-50. Very progressive. Again, great restaurants, as in Ahihi. And then further east is Chapala. Now, Chapala is like 90% Mexican, whereas Ahihi is, you get that 90% English being spoken. So in their restaurants, their menus, a lot of them are in Spanish. So get with it. I mean, figure it out. And the waiter can't come to you and have poquito. You say, habla English or poquito. They're not speak, they don't speak English. Whereas in Ahihi, absolutely, they speak in English, but not so much Chapala. So, from between Chapala, San Antonio, and Ahihi, depending on your comfortability with speaking the language, that's a good way to make a decision how you so sorry I missed the beginning. What book? Thanks. She gonna put it in the end. She gonna put it in the comments.
It's called Considerations. And I'm going
a guide for moving abroad. Considerations.
That's right. Considerations. A guide for moving abroad.
That's right.
This is being taped. So anybody that comes on, don't apologize for being late. We had trouble at the beginning, so you haven't missed much, but it is recorded.
Thank you. Yeah, guys. So those were my three factors: climate, location, and expat community. And like you said, Deborah, they're popping up, and you can find your own tribe or make one, start one. And I just love the way we are as sisters grabbing hold of each other and making it. And I see those miracles every day on Facebook. I see those connections happen, and I call them miracles. All those cooperating components are coming together for this movement, and it's ushering and unfolding in ways that's just continuing to blow us away.
That's right.
So here I am, made it to this Lake Chapala area, San Antonio, 3 years ago. I didn't do a recon visit just to check things out. Didn't have that kind of money. So everything I did online, just a lot of researching, videos, getting on those Facebook groups, making those connections, ran into a lady who now lives here, one of my dearest friends, Nanette. We on a Facebook group, and she's like, hey, I'm in Atlanta. Hey, I'm a retired teacher. Hey, I'm moving to Mexico, because we're on that like-mindedness type face. Next thing you know, we're meeting once a month, just collaborating on how our move is going, the plans we're making, who we've been in touch with, and we did that. I moved here 6 months before Nanette, but now she's here too, and I mean, and they're just just
wonderful. That's wonderful. I've encouraged people in the group to start meet and greets in their area, and then the people that haven't moved abroad are starting to have meet and greet, so that they can have accountability groups like you and Nanette is her name?
Nanette, yes.
Yeah, because this is work. I mean, I'm going to Puerto Vallarta on the 27th, but this is work. And I'm taking my dog, so it's even more work. Yep. And some days I just don't feel like doing anything, and I'll call you, go, girl, you're gonna have so much fun, and just make all the details. So you got to tell me what's going on, and that pumps you back up, because this is where you're gonna find that encouragement. To those who don't want to move anywhere, want to stay in the U.S., they're gonna try to talk you out of it, and it could be your loved one, it could be your family, whatever. So you have to pick your tribe that's going to support you And they
Yes.
have a right to
Yes.
their opinions, but you also have a right to your dreams coming true, and you have a right to be supported in that dream.
Oh, absolutely. I encourage a lot of times those consults that I'm having, if you can, move in silence for a while. I moved in
Yes,
silence. Move in silence. I encourage them to do that, until you know that you know that you know that you
yes.
know that so your foundation cannot be shaken. Move in silence. I see Francine says, will I do a book signing anytime soon? She has the book and
Yeah.
she's living in Sonora, but she's to Mexico after a year. And oh, China. You were in China and then moved, Francine, then moved to Mexico. And you have my book. Are you still trying to find your place from China to Mexico? You still trying to find where you gonna land? But hey, if you anywhere in the Lake Chapala area, I absolutely will. Definitely. We gonna get together. We gonna have lunch and I'm signing that book. So 4 months, Deborah, after moving here, there was a YouTuber that I followed religiously. Little white guy with a
Oh, I
Colombian
know who
wife.
you're talking about.
You know, I'm talking about my boy. You're right. So here I followed him religiously, and I just fell in love with Lori. And he cracks her up. She still
No,
everything he
he
do. She think it's funny, but because I hike with Jerry. I've hiked with
Okay.
Jerry from time to time.
Okay.
But 4 months after moving here, I'm in a cell phone store and I look up and I look again and I tell the lady, hold on just a minute. I run out the door. Hey, I know you. And we laughed and we talked. He said, you ought to come on my show. And I said, you know what? Okay, I will. And a week later we did that. I had only been here 4 months. And boy,
Wow.
I tell you that, and I was the first and only to this date, I believe, Black person Jerry has ever interviewed.
Yeah, because
But
I follow him too.
oh, okay. See, so obviously that's just the universe being perfect, and me being a part of this unfoldment. They started messaging me. Hey, so what about the asking questions? What about how did you? And for a minute, I was writing these long explanations but they kept coming in. I'm like, wait a minute. I can just tell everybody at one time. I had took copious notes and just being a teacher. That's just the nature of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of me, copious notes and had file folders and researched and I said the book this was already written. All I did was add my little anecdotes of what took place, as it relates. It's 10 chapters. Each chapter is a consideration. You consider in moving abroad and consider finances, consider visas, consider downsizing, consider healthcare, so each chapter is a consideration. And boy, I tell you that after I wrote that and just, kind of put it out there again, you just get this torrent of people asking and wanting to know, because guess what? They don't. You still get those quotes. What about the cartel? What about safety? But that's that media who creates this. And that's all we know about being abroad. But think about it. All we knew about Africa was what we saw on Tarzan. So that's how we thought Africans were.
Yeah.
What we knew about Native Americans is what we saw on the Cowboy in India show. So, that's how we, viewed. So they keep a real tight, that matrix, that system, keep a real tight on what they want you to really know about.
That's right. That's right.
And expansion.
And someone made a comment. If those places are so bad, if they're like, excuse my French, shithole countries, why is it y'all always running over there visiting? We had Ted Cruz who during our blizzard, all the places with the customer. And it's like, wait, you left your state, your United States and Texas to go to the shithole country. Excuse my French. So that proves that's not true. It's beautiful, and they know it. I think they want to keep it for themselves. Or they just don't want our dollars leaving the U.S.
That's exactly what it is. Come on,
That's what
y'all.
it
Y'all
is.
know that's how we used to think. Michelle's talking about Tarzan laugh. Y'all know that's how we used to think about, African. And the only thing we saw was starving the
Every
kids.
child had a
And
fly on his eye. Ridiculous.
so no, we ain't trying to think about go back to the motherland. Of course not. You know. But Francine says that her husband's goal is to retire to the Lake Chapala area. And that's a good move. She says she's just happy to see women who look like us.
That's
You
right.
know,
That's right. And there are a lot of
doing
us
the
there.
do,
I
doing
did.
the do.
I'm all into research because that's my background as a financial consultant. Was everything was due diligence, and the
Right,
largest percent of expats, not just Black, moved to Mexico and Panama again for proximity. A lot of them are part-time expats. Expats are snowbirds, but that's where they're going. Their dollars go a whole lot further, and they're not sacrificing anything. The healthcare is actually better. I mean, that was the first time when I joined these groups that I heard that doctors, the doctor, not his assistant, not the answering service, actually
right.
gave you their phone numbers.
Oh, honey, yeah, their cell number. Call me anytime. We'll make a house call. Give you a banana bag. I mean, they come into the house. They come in. I had a friend who came to the house because it was time, to put her dog down. It's such a hands-on. It's a whole different. It expands you as it relates to community,
Yeah.
and how it is. Me just, hey, look, concrete jungle coming from Detroit, Las Vegas, Atlanta. But this is small town living, and this is
To
community.
paradise, to green
Yeah,
paradise.
it's and I tell everybody now, friends and all, look, if nothing else, get your passport
That's
because
it.
those are your freedom papers. Yeah,
Passport ability.
that's
It.
your freedom papers.
That's
Those
it.
are freedom
You can
papers.
go and find out. You can go and spend 6 months a year and decide this place is for me. This place is not for me. Hey, I'm going to go check out this country next. Hey, I'm going to go, because I think the United States is so large that we don't realize once you start moving outside, it's so
Woo.
easy to go to another
It's
country.
easy. It's easy. It's easy peasy because it grows you, it expands you, and
Yeah,
all you do is experience. Deborah, that's what we're here to do:
yeah.
create, expand, and
That's it.
experience.
That's
So
it.
yeah,
I feel like this is our golden years. Okay. We can bury
now
that goal. We can sit down and get fat and get depressed, listening to all the negative stuff, or we can just step out, explore. If you don't like it, you can come back. You're still a US citizen.
well, hey, listen, I will always be a U.S. citizen,
That's it.
but I reside in Mexico.
That's
I
right.
reside in Mexico. Yeah,
We're
I always be
proud
a U.S. citizen.
Americans. And
Yeah,
especially
proud to
I
be
would say
out.
Black people, they with all the publicity that has gone on, we are accepted, we're appreciated in these countries. We're
Yeah.
recognized not just by the color of our skin, but we're
Mhm.
accepted as human beings. And
Mhm. Yeah.
what I've also heard from everybody that resides in Mexico was that they are welcomed by
Yeah.
the Mexican people, by the
You know what
Hispanics.
some of the culture shock
They're
is?
very welcoming people. They're not all
Yes.
rapists and cartel. Yeah.
Honey, listen. You know what one of the shocks was? A friend of mine who's actually visiting right now is that you go in a store and you're not followed.
Oh
You're
no,
not you're not looked at. And it ain't nobody studying you. That
you don't
it's
have to
going
ask for a badge
and
to
have a
prove
good
you
day.
paid for what you. Yeah,
You know, it's a whole different feel, flavor, energy, experience that should be experienced. That should be experienced. What did Deborah Green say? I'm leaving here in November. I will be glad to be out too. Congratulations.
yes.
Congratulations.
And Tremaine
listen,
said,
and it's not like I don't get to the
shoot,
States.
in the States, we lucky if the secretary transfers your call to the
Talking about a
yeah,
doctor
because
coming
they
to
screen
you.
you. You got to go through the gatekeeper.
Yeah. That is so true. And what I love too is the ability to go right across the street to the pharmacy and the over-the-counter things that you can buy at the pharmacy. I suffer with upper respiratory. I'm able to go across the street, get this, buy a box of prednisone, 50 milligrams for $3, 20 in a box. 50 milligrams, $3.
Try that
Prednisone.
Try that in
Now,
Atlanta.
you got to either go through urgent care, but then you got to go through your primary care, who will refer you to, and then they'll call that in, and then you're on the phone for, so long. But you know what? You want pregnant, so I'm gonna need to see you. If you're gonna need
That's
to,
right. I need to see you because I need to be able to bill the insurance company.
Yeah. But see, I can't see you until the 16th.
That's right. So you just suffer in between.
Insane. I walked across the street, and there's a lot of self-treatment that you can do yourself and take care of yourself, because that stuff is over the counter. Those things that you have to go to a doctor, urgent care, and things like. The only thing they're not selling over the counter is narcotics. Narcotics is not being sold over the counter. Practically 90% of any and everything else you need when it comes to high blood pressure medication. I don't know this something for. I also suffer with RA. So I'm on a new RA med that I think is going to help me out quite a little bit. It's just it don't have to be like. They don't
have, their system is not set up like ours, because we have some good doctors. I had a doctor I've had for 12 years. He moved to Austin, and I literally, boo-hooed because he's a good Black doctor. And I had him for 12. He moved, and the person that took over, I am not happy. She is not Black. She does not listen to. She has 12 years worth of history there, and she's asking me questions that she shouldn't be asking me if she was reading my file or if she was listening to me.
Listening to me. Yeah, exactly. It's I can't say enough a different way of beingness here that one just does not experience in the States. And look, I go back to the States twice a year. I get my children out there, my grandchild out there. Yeah. My 85-year-old mother and 99-year-old dad is still in Detroit, right off of 8 Mile in Greenfield. Okay, still in Detroit. So yeah, brothers, nieces, nephews. I go back, but I reside here because what I wasn't going to do, or what I came to realize, I'm not giving you my life. I don't owe you my life. I don't have to work until I can't work anymore. I can live on what I earned the 27 years that I've worked, that I did have a career, that I did put into the system. And I haven't even, I'm not eligible for Social Security, even if they have it. By the time I turn, I'll be eligible in 4 years. Okay.
Baby.
And that's gonna help a little bit too. That's gonna help a little bit too. But you can live a life, easier life.
That's
here.
right.
I am fully retired.
And another thing you said, I think we're trailblazers for our children and grandchildren.
Our children's children. That's right.
I have the full support I have 4 children and 6 grandkids. The grandkids are little. But my children were very encouraging because I traveled in my career. I mean, I was in Brazil, I was in Japan. So I kind of broke the, we're not afraid that mom's going abroad. But I had to answer some questions on why I wanted to move abroad. And then they said, go, we gonna come visit. We might, and one of them said, scout real estate over there. We don't want to be here all our life dealing with this. And they don't have time because they're in the center of the rat race, raising kids.
Yeah, exactly. They got dues to pay. But as you get older, I mean, they don't have to wait as late as we probably did to say, hey, let me move abroad. They'll do it younger, retire younger, find other aspects of
That's right.
getting off of that 9 to 5 grind or whatever it is,
Mhm.
that the state puts before you and tells you that this is good. This is good. Yeah, nah, it's a matrix. So, hey, so y'all have any questions for me as it relates to before we Deborah or Tremaine? They ain't playing in Mexico, you're right. It's safe though. Safe.
And Karen says she's in 22. She's playing the exit to Ventura. Oh, no, wait. Is that it? Yeah, I think I pronounced that right. This is a Black community building up there. It's so helpful in making decisions regarding my move. It's truly a blessing. Love all the community of sisters that are offering a Harriet Truman like help. That's it. That's it. We just go back and forth. We go and find out and we tell you and we bring you.
That's
I
right.
like
That's
that
right.
Harriet Truman thing.
Thank you so much, Deborah. I appreciate that. Deborah say, I do have your book. And Karen, you're absolutely right. It is an awakening. Not only is it this shift and consciousness that we're experiencing, but this is a great awakening. And this is, I think the awakening is global, but for our people, we are starting to really see this shift and consciousness, because they've been doing it for a minute. They've had that privilege to travel abroad and study abroad, and and been expanded in that way. For us, not so much. I mean, there are some, but not like it's happening now. I mean, we are awakening. It is a massive. Stomach issues with food? Absolutely not, sweetheart. I've lived here 3 years, and I have not had a stomach ache. I have not had a 24-hour stomach. But I say, as far as my weight is concerned, I'm just one stomach flu away from my perfect ideal weight. But I haven't had any of that. I've not had to purge. It is again one of those things. Oh, the food. This is practically from farm to table here, in a sense. These open markets that they have, this is fresh food. And get this, there's no fast food. There's no fast food around here. There's restaurants, and of course you get your street tacos, which I love. I've never gotten sick off of street tacos that I've eaten around in my town. I've not gotten food poisoning from any restaurant. The food is fresh. So I hope that answers your question. How do you find long-term rentals? See, Michele, it depends on the area that you plan on. Like, take for instance, and I only speak of Lake Chapala because that's my experience. But take for instance, if you're looking in this area for a rental, there's Facebook groups like Lake Chapala Rentals. Inexpensive rentals, Lake Chapala. The one I stayed on quite a bit, Access Lake Chapala. Boy, did I stay on there. Just looking at places, because that Access Lake Chapala, they give you a real nice description of the neighborhoods. They talk about Ajijic and San Antonio, and then the neighborhoods they're not a town, they're not a village, it's a neighborhood. Riberas, and then next to Riberas is Marisol. These are just neighborhoods, but along Chapala, but in the how do you say municipal? They're in the municipal of Chapala. Chapala is like our government town,
Okay.
for the most. Yeah, okay. It's
like a little
it's
township.
The municipal. Yes, okay. Chapala. They get Chapala and Lake Chapala mixed up. Lake Chapala is the lake. Chapala is the town.
Okay, good. Town. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah.
And where is Merida in?
That I would probably even have to Google it. How far is Merida from Lake Chapala? I don't know, but I know it's another state.
Okay, remember, got it.
Mexico has 32 states, so Merida is another state.
Yeah, because that's another large expat area, but it's a lot warmer.
It's growing. It's growing, and someone was saying that Quintamaru. How do you say that? Kinamaru. They said that it's growing too. It starts with a Q. You know, I can't pronounce that right. Here it goes. Facebook user planning 2022 exit to Kira Taro, Mexico. And she said there's a black community building there too. Yeah. We coming, we here. And that's why, Sajin, what's a typical day like for you, Queen? I'm so glad you asked that question. What's a typical day like for someone who's retired? Well, mind you, I've been here 3 years now. So, and when I first got here, I didn't have a dog. Now I have a dog, rescue, Quincy. So, yeah, Quincy. So I'm up in the morning, huh? Yeah, but yeah, that's my boy Quincy. Yeah. I'm up in the morning, have my tea. No, walk Quincy, come back, have my tea, meditate, stretch. Then there's what I call table time, because as a writer, I'm very routined in how I put out a lot of content. So I'm very routine in how I sit down and write. Now, while I'm writing, I have my incense burning and my candle and my music playing. And because the energy of this place is very serene. The sun is shining, the windows are open, the birds are chirping. On Tuesdays and Fridays, I'm back hiking again. 2020 kind of shut a whole lot of that down. And even before 2020, everything was shut down. And I didn't have Quincy, there were so many different social things I was doing. I hiked on Tuesday. I had a MetaMind group that met on Wednesday. I hosted a shut up and write writing group on Thursday. And then in between that, like I was telling Deborah, man, it's somebody's anniversary, it's somebody's birthday, this a fundraiser. There's sometimes going back to the States in the first couple of years was a vacation from being here. And when you're retired, honestly, the days are like, the week is like this: 6 Saturdays in a Sunday.
Oh, wow.
That's the week. 6 Saturdays in a Sunday, when you're living that retired life, going to theater. They have the little theater here, in town, because everybody's so active and doing things. So there's plays going on. It's the Readers Theater. And this is a very artsy community. And there's a lot of art galleries and art shows and places to eat and things to do. So a typical day pre-COVID was, I was moving. Quite my social calendar was, whoa. Then COVID hit, and now I'm back to hiking finally, Tuesdays and Fridays. No small groups, and the MetaMind group is just getting ready to kind of start back up, and the bands are starting to play. That's another thing that people don't think about. You're probably used to going to a club and hearing a DJ. There are no DJs here. They're live bands and live bands only. Which is so, kind of cool and unique and different. And now I'm not saying that's how it is in Guadalajara, which is 30 minutes. That's the city. That's the big city. Guadalajarans come here to the Lake Chapala area on the weekends. We call them Tapatillos. The Tapatillos come in from Guadalajara because they have houses here, and there's a lot of rich Mexicans. The affluent neighborhoods up and around here, that's not all owned by Americans and Canadians. Mexicans own those places too, So anyway, always something to do. And then when you want to be quiet, you can do that too. There's a very spiritual community throughout the North Shore, whichever is your flavor, you can find it here, all the way down to
know about internet, Wi-Fi, internet.
It depends on the area. For the most part, I have Telmex, And Telmex rarely goes out, but does it go out? Yeah, yeah, it does, but that's rarely. And then they on it, and they get it fixed. I don't have, and I've had Telmex ever since I moved. This place that I'm in now is the place that I've been in since I moved here 3 years ago. And they have not raised the rent in 3 years either.
I was so hoping you
love my
mentioned
little
that.
1 bed, 1 bath condo with a mirror door and a fireplace, and they have a swimming pool and a laundry room, $500 a month. And now get this, when I first moved here, remember I only made $1,100. I mean, I only received $1,100 a month. $500 was my rent. So I lived on $600 a month. But here's the thing, my electric bill is every other month, and it's $10. My cell phone bill, which does any and everything that T-Mobile phone did. I have a Samsung 8, but it's a Mexican cell phone. Does everything that T-Mobile did, and it's $15 a month. My internet is $20 a month. So, and then again, the food is pretty much from farm to table, so that's fresh and cheap. So yeah, is it possible? I don't have a car, and to catch the bus is 35 cents, to jump on the bus, 7 pesos,
So you live well on the 600.
I live comfortably on the 600, and then there's so many things that's free. I mean, the hiking is free, when I'm online doing yoga. I used to pay for yoga when I first got here, but after I learned all the poses and everything, my mat is in my bedroom. I don't necessarily have to pay, in the hiking. So no issues with food. How do you find and learn? I talked about that. What's a typical day like? Thank you for sharing your experience. Merida is by Oh, Deborah said Merida is by Cancun. And I know Cancun is kind of far from me, in the Yucatan, well south of me. Quincy is a vibe, poses for pics. I know, Gina, right? He said, oh, and look, I have a hairline fracture right now in my left foot. So no hiking for 5 to 6 weeks. And I'm being very serious about that because I want to get back to hiking. And Quincy is a hiker. So my friend Terry not only is starting to lead the hikes until I can, the waterfall hike, that's the one I do. She came and picked up Quincy today and took him hiking. So on my Facebook page, I'm like, shout out to my sissy for picking up Quincy and taking him hiking, because I'm not walking like I used to until this my foot get back right. Quincy is a vibe.
We're coming up on an hour. I'm going to get back to running. Okay,
I'm going to answer Gina's question. It's the last one. How do you exchange money? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the only monies I really get, that I count on, although I appreciate the book sale ones too, is my pension. And it comes on my Capital One debit card. And then I go to the ATM and I pull out pesos. So that's how I, and for the past 3 years, my landlord come every, when I call her, because as soon as I get my pension, I call and say, stop by, pick up the rent. And it's been 10,000 pesos for 3 years. Wow. Every month, $500.
Yep. And that's what I like, because I've heard that with several people that they're not capitalists, so they don't think, oh, I get to raise the rent. She likes it here. Oh, I get to raise the rent, because I tell them my rent is going up 40% in 5 years. 40%, still in the same size. Well, it's a nice loft in the center of downtown. I have a great view, but 40%. Okay, my Social Security has not gone up 40%. My Social Security maybe has gone up $40 in 5 years. So I'm literally going to be priced out of my level of comfort in a few years. So
that's
I'm not stupid enough to wait until that happens.
With seniors.
That's right.
You stop making money, but they don't stop raising stuff. Then you will live substandardly. See, because
Yes,
you're not with it.
absolutely. And
You
Dallas
live
is going through Texas, but Dallas, especially Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, are going through very large booms right now because the New Yorkers and the California people are moving down here and buying up stuff. Houses are being sold within 48 hours. You get 10 bids, and they're bidding over the price. Yeah, my daughter and son-in-law sold it. They listed their house on Friday, and Tuesday they had 9 people who want to buy the house over their asking price. Over the asking
now,
price.
see, now, but get this. You know, my pension when I first moved here was $1,100. I've been here three years now, right? It is a whopping $1,200.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I have lived in 3 years.
yeah.
I had $100 increase. 3 years, over 3 years. So yeah, that's what happens. You know, you next thing you know, you like this living substandardly,
That's
and I wasn't
right.
gonna let you do that to me. I'm leaving. Nope. See you later. Bye. I'm out. Love you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but Deborah, you're right. We've been talking for too long. What's up next? Did we just want to kind of wrap this up?
Yes,
Hey,
we
thank
can.
you.
And we're just I'm so excited because I know you're very busy, and being an author, you're in demand. For you to spend time with us and answer our questions.
Absolutely.
And she's in the group. She's in the group, guys. So you know you can continue to ask her questions. And I want Michele, I want you to put a link for your book in the group.
Oh, okay.
I'll post
Now,
it
you know
on
what?
Facebook. I'll post it in the YouTube, but you can go ahead and do you have a link?
But see, here's the thing. I can only private chat. I don't see where I can type in comments. It's not giving me
not here. I meant just in the group. Later on when you comment.
Okay,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Not live now. I'm going to post it on YouTube. I'll put it in the description. But when we get off just your regular membership in the thing, you're one of those. Like I said, people ask. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I go ahead and tell them how they can get me on all my platforms?
Yes, you certainly. Okay. Absolutely.
All right. Okay, very good. Yay. Hey, Deborah, this has been awesome. What you doing the rest of the day?
Watching this lipstick and stuff.
What?
Well, I'm still, I have my to-do list to get ready to go to Puerto Vallarta is endless.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but this is important. So I have to apologize to my guys. I've been kind of quiet in terms of posting, but you know what? They speak among themselves. They bring up
and
stuff,
that's what you want.
That's the whole thing about community. Yeah. You know, I just can't say enough about it. So, yeah. So I'll get back to my planning and my downsizing. That's where and I want to mention that in terms of your books and your writing and your move and everything, I think it's very spiritual that God uses your gifts and talents as a teacher and writer to create a path for us through books and stuff like that.
I feel that. I feel like I was used in that way because after that interview and people started asking, I was answering, but I said, wait a minute, I have this information, already. See, that's the kind of God we serve, though. I'm telling you.
Absolutely. And with me, because I'm heavy into research and and a lot of people in the group are seeing traveling and moving as a healing from divorce, healing from traumatic experiences and things like that. And that's where I see God bringing in my experience of, I've been through the bombing in Atlanta. I was at the second bomb. Yeah. The shooting in Dallas of the 5 police, I was at the park, and it was the 2. I'm like, okay, God, what is it with these traumatic events? Lived with the narcissist. So I've done the healing and the documentation there. I never thought I'd have an opportunity to coach women through that healing and seeing traveling, because getting into a new atmosphere does wonders for your health, spirituality, and
all 6 aspects of your well-being. We have 6 aspects of our well-being.
The acknowledgement of what you've been through is huge to be able to relate with somebody who has been there, done it, and can tell you, yes, you will heal. Yes,
Yes.
it did happen.
And yes, you will be all right.
Yeah, you will be all right.
Yeah.
And with that, I want to say goodbye and thank you to everybody who tuned in.
Oh, thank you
Remember, if
guys
you're
for
watching
coming
on,
in.
and ladies in the group, please go and subscribe to Passportability on YouTube. Just to show your support, because I really appreciate and love you,
You know,
and I want to
I'm
keep
heading
doing
over there to
stuff
do
like
that
this.
now, Deborah. I'm
All
getting
right,
ready
sweetheart.
to subscribe to Passportability. Okay,
All right.
on YouTube. And usually when I leave, I always say one light. And I listen for that one love, coming from you. So I say one light.
One love.
All right, babe. Great talking
Bye-bye.
to you. See you later. Bye-bye.